That's awesome.
Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Shining Mountain Center for Spiritual Living. We are so glad that you're with us this morning. It's a beautiful day. Inside and outside, it's a little frosty. But we're happy that you're here, and we want to welcome you home, because this is our spiritual home, and we're glad that you're with us today. I just have a few things I want to remind you, and one is that there are prayer request forms in the back. So if you have anything that is heavy on your heart or anything that you'd like us to celebrate with you, fill out one of those prayer request forms and put it in the prayer box, and Reverend Yvonne and I will be happy to pray with you and for you all week. We like to pray here. There's also some packets on the door, on the table in the entry hall that tell a little bit about our center. If you're not familiar with what we are all about, be sure to take one of those and check us out. That being said, again, I want to welcome you, and we have some beautiful music for you this morning. Thank you for sharing your talent with us, Aisha, Red Star, Dawn, and Audie. We so look forward to getting to spend Sunday morning here in the center with you. And so we come to that time in our service where we get to bless our children, all of the children of the world and the child within each of us. So if you would please join me in this blessing of the children. We see you, who you really are, made in the image and likeness of God. We cherish you, we support you, and we love you. And so in this space of love, we move now within. Taking a deep breath, closing our eyes and moving within. We know that there is only one power, one presence, one life, and it is known by many names. I call it God. It is in its essence that we live and breathe and have our being. It is one with each of us. It is light and love and peace and joy and harmony. It is health and wholeness and abundance. There is absolutely nothing outside of God. And because we are one with it, each of us too is health and wholeness, peace and abundance and love. And so as I speak my word this day for today's service, for this week, and for the upcoming year, I truly know that the God in each of us sees and salutes the God in the other, knowing that there is absolutely nothing outside of God, that the light and the love and the peace and the joy that is ours this day, we are open and willing and sharing. I know that as we move through our days, we do it with joy and with joyous expectation of the good that is coming to us right here and right now. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the powerful presence of Spirit within each person here today. I am grateful for the powerful presence of Spirit which moves everything that happens on earth. I am grateful for the light and the love and the peace and the joy that are ours. As I release this word now to the perfect working of the perfect law, which always, and only says yes, please join me in affirming, and so it is.
Thank you so much. Whew. Amen. That's beautiful. And just so you all know it, I saw some toes tapping out there to this. Da, 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 da. Oh, and isn't it a wonderful, it's wonderful to feel good. It's wonderful to feel joy. It's wonderful to experience that uplifting feeling that I always get from this music and from being here with this group of people, with all of you that are in our sanctuary, and those who are watching us. We're one family. We are all of the one tribe. We are one community without walls. So, because we have been inundated again this week with all kinds of stuff to bring up our fears and bring up our questions and stir up stuff that feels like it separates us from our good, I'm going to ask you all to join me right here, right now, and go within so that we can send a blessing out, so that we can, first of all, let's just go within, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to go within and settle into that breath that is within us. The breath of God, the breath of life that is moving through us. And allow our consciousness to let go of the stuff that we have been worried about, the stuff that we've been angry about, the stuff that we've been fearful of for just this moment in time. Because every single one of us in this moment in time are at choice about what we're going to allow this moment to be to us. And so let's start with just accepting a blessing onto ourselves. I accept the blessing of life. May you accept the blessing of life. For you need do nothing to deserve it. It is your birthright to receive the blessing of life. And as we allow this to settle onto us, let us also send blessings out to those who are not with us today, those who are doing other things, those who are separated from us in whatever means or way that they're separated from us. Let's send blessings to them. Let's send blessings to situations where there may be storms, where there's anger, where there's need, where there's pain. Let us just send blessings of love. For it is our intention that is powerful. It is not where it's going as much as it is where it's coming from. Let that blessing come from the space of spirit within you, that we can bless our entire planet. That we can overcome the divisiveness, the fear, the greed, anything that is separating us, even our own judgments from others. Let us be free to be that magnificent self that we are in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. Choose peace. Choose harmony. Choose life, expressing as the goodness and godness that you are. And together we say, it is so, it is so, and so it is. I know I don't usually start my talks like that, but it just felt like that's what we need today. We just need to get back into our authentic goodness, back into our authentic joy and bliss and knowing of wholeness and harmony, because we are at choice to do that. And we've been studying these last this will be the third week, the thing itself, which is the power back of creation. So it's like the thing itself and then the way it works. And it works from the sum total of our thoughts, our beliefs, and what our purpose is, what we believe our purpose to be. So this power in the universe that is the thing itself and is also within us, because we're created out of that, which created everything and is creation. So we've got a power within us, and we want to recognize it, but we'll only be able to use it to the degree that we recognize and know it. And if we don't know it, if we don't have the belief in it, then we can't use it to the extent of benefiting from it in the way that we would choose to. So the way it works is it works through us and as us always. This power of good and for good, this divine goodness works for us and through in us always. In us. Now the through us, we have a lot to say about. Because how we choose to believe and how we choose to express in the world and how we choose to react to the world, and sometimes that's all we do is react, and how we choose to respond to life is very much in our power. But it can only be the power to us as we recognize it to be that it is. If we don't recognize it, then it isn't a power for us to use in a way that is conducive of greater living in joy and peace and harmony and love and creative expression. So that just sums up the fact that it's our belief that sets the limit to a limitless power. It's our beliefs. It's our beliefs that sets the limit to a limitless power. It's like going to the faucet and saying, you can only have 1 cup of water. Well, I can tell you that you can go to the faucet in my house and get a lot more water than that. We turn it on and we turn it off because we want to regulate what we're getting as far as water goes in my house. But this power for good in the universe is unlimited except by our beliefs in it. So we want to remember that the thing itself is the power back of creation, and how it works is how we work it and shows up in our lives. And if we think we're not using that power, we are. If we think life isn't working for us and it looks really difficult and we have a lot of challenges and we believe that that's the way it's going to continue to be, we are putting power into that belief. And you know what they say about the law? The law is no respecter of person. It's going to work for you, and whether you're thinking in terms of goodness for yourself or in terms of challenges for yourself. It's working. So we get to look at that. And we evoke the law. Again, it's just so important for us to know we evoke this law through our acceptance of it. Through our acceptance of it. So this week, we've talked about the thing itself, which is the power back of creation, and the way it works. And this week I want to talk about what it does. And what it does, it takes us on this journey, because we need to embark on this journey of being in the now. So what it does is create, but it's creating in the now all the time. And that's all we have, is this moment in time, and this moment in time, and this moment in time. That's all we have. That's what we're working with. And so we are expressions of the thing itself, which is the divine intelligence, which is what we are, what is working through us and in us. And the more active we align our beliefs and our thoughts and our intentions and our feelings, then the more our intentions of what we want will become visible in our world. The more that we intend to live from this creative power and the process of it through us, the more we will get to experience the intentions we set. So the first week of January, we wrote some intentions, what we want on our white Jerusalem rocks. And I said we were looking at what we want, and then we were exploring the next week why we want it. Why do you want peace in your life? Or why do you want less worry or less fear in your life? Well, because you want to experience more peace. Why do you want? Why we want it really will back up what we want, so we get cleared up. And then Linda took us on through the journey with the rock about what it was that was standing in the way of it. What stands in the way of my worrying a lot? Fear. Fear and what is the fear about? Because I could just write fear, but that doesn't do a thing for me. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid, and it has to go to the situation I'm in. If I'm feeling fear, it might be that I'm not in control of what's going to happen, or I'm not in control of what did happen. You know, if you can get below the fear and see what it is. And that's what I wanted to let go of, was the idea that I need to control everything that I'm engaged in. So we're looking at, and all of this has to do the intention, the why, the what. We didn't talk about the how, because remember, the how is supported. That's what supports. The how supports the why and the what. And it comes through that divine goodness. It comes through the intelligence, the divine goodness of life. The how will come to us. We need to know what it is we want and why we want it. Because sometimes we'll discover what we thought we wanted when we are looking at the why isn't at all what the desire is deep within us. It's just what we thought we wanted, because we thought by getting that we'd have something else, right? And remember, the thing about wanting to get or go somewhere, get somewhere in order to have something, is putting your good off, because we are carrying our good within us. We are carrying the space for our good within us. So getting that new job, you can be at peace, you can be in joy, you can be thrilled in the old job until the new job materializes. Or you can be cranky and upset and mad about it and do half the work you could do in the old job until you get the new job. Your choice. We're always at choice. So here's what I love about what's going on. I can talk to 10 different people and probably get 10 different cups of information about one subject. Some of them will be in agreement with each other. Some will be this far apart, and some of what I might get will be brand new stuff. But here's what I love, and I read this, and it's just really incredible, because we as humanity are evolving. No matter what's going on out there, I believe that we are evolving, and we're evolving because there's this love within us. There's this love within each one of us, within ourselves. It's something that we were born with, and it's an unconditional love. Whether we experience, and to the degree we experience it, is different probably for all of us. But it is within every single person. And what they said was, in this article I read, was we are less barbaric per capita than at any other time in history. Praise the Lord, huh? Praise the Lord. And that there are more people per capita on this. At this time, more people are concerned about the planet and the care of it and what happens to it. And at this time, there are more people who care about other species and their well-being and their survival. And at this time, there are more people on this planet who are concerned with the environment and health of this planet than ever before. Now, that gives me great hope, and it also, I look for evidence that support my beliefs. I think we all do that as human beings, and I believe in the goodness of humanity. I believe that God created us all with that spark within us to develop and become as kind and loving and generous and expressive of life as we can be without harming others. We as human beings chose all these other paths, but I believe that within us is that innate spark that is really, really just waiting to express and express outwardly. And in that sense, I think we draw to us others who are there also. We don't have to agree on everything. What we have to know, though, is that there is a goodness that we're all searching for. I truly believe that if there's anything we're going towards, it's unconditional love. It's unconditional kindness. It's unconditional acceptance. It's unconditional generosity, compassion. I believe that's within us. And every one of us has a strong suit. Every one of us has a strong suit. And we can play that strong suit. And by play it, I mean we can make it the focus, the intention, the path we're on. It doesn't mean we're lacking in anything, and it doesn't mean we have to do exactly what the sister next to me is doing or the brother down the road is doing. It means that we get to contribute in the way we want to as we experience within us that desire to bring forth that goodness. That's what we're here for. That's why we do this together. That's why we're all part of a community of humanity. Love is the divine givingness, and through this divine givingness, we express our true nature of the infinite intelligence that is within us. So in the Bible, in the scriptures, it says, now is a time to wake out of sleep. When isn't the time to wake up? I've been waking up my whole life. Dozed off a few times, but I'm waking up. Yeah, because I really truly believe too, I can't unlearn the good I've learned. I might forget it, but I can't unlearn it. So you see, we are evolving. We evolve a little bit here and a little bit there, and a step or two at a time, or a big rush of running, but we are evolving and we are contributing to a greater good. To a greater good. And awakening is a process of evolution that will bring us to that place to know that we are not separate from God. If we're not separate from God, we are not separate from our good. We can't be. We just can't be. And to awaken is to be healed. It's to be made prosperous. It's to bring happiness into our lives and satisfaction. You know, that's a question I ask people whenever I go into interact with an employee. It doesn't matter where they are. If I get the opportunity, I'll say, how do you like the work you're doing? What I'm asking them is, are you satisfied with what you're doing in the now? Not, is this where you want to spend the rest of your life? Is this a place that you've never had any conflict in? Is this a place that meets your every need? Not at all. What I'm asking them is, are you satisfied? How do you like your job in the now? Because that's all we have. That's all we have. And that's where we're at. Here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in the infinite good. How much good can we have? How much good of the infinite goodness can we have? As much as we're ready to receive. In other words, all that we are ready to receive. And I'm just going to bring this up because if any of you feel like, and because this is out of my own experience, every day, each day is just like the last one, I discovered a secret about it. If you think you're just going from yesterday to today to yesterday to today, I invite you to look at, are you, as that sun rises in the morning, are you looking for things to be grateful for? Are you recognizing the goodness of God? Are you getting up in the morning and saying, oh, okay, here's what I've got to do, and here's what I didn't do, and I wonder if I should do this? Or are you getting up in the morning with an expectation of encountering good and goodness and blessings and joy? Are you getting up with a focus? Wow. Not of what you're going to do, but where you are in the moment. It moves us. It can move us into the here and now just by focusing on not what is to be done or what is to be expected, but being present to the moment that you're opening your eyes to. So in the here and now, I love this because I've just been exploring with my friend Sharon, who's another minister, curiosity. First thing and it came up because the first thing I heard from this sweet person, she said, you know, curiosity killed the cat. I said, not mine. He's been hanging around for 8 years, and he's a very curious cat. But I remember hearing that as a child, but I'm exploring what curiosity is. And the first place that I think Well, what is curiosity? Curiosity is the strong desire to know or learn something, isn't it? And when I mentioned it to a dear friend, she said, "Oh, don't bring that word up to me because I'll be right I'll go right for a book to look it up." My other friend says, "I hit the internet every time I get curious." That's wonderful. That's good. But that's not the curiosity that I'm looking at today. Today I'm looking at the curiosity we can use to really bring us back to the moment. And that is not jumping into a book or jumping on the internet or phoning up someone to get their idea about this curiosity you have. It's allowing yourself to create an emptiness or a space within you in the now for something beyond, something that you don't know yet, and you're not going to get out of the book yet. Here's an example. Getting cut off when I'm going to make a left-hand turn. Happened 2 days ago. The roads are icy. You all know that. We don't slam on the brakes here in Montana when we get up to the stop sign. We know how to ease into it. We've been driving on ice and roads, probably icy roads, our entire lives. Well, I'm getting up to the stop sign, going to make a left-hand turn. And what happens? Somebody behind me hits the horn, and it's like, get through there. Well, you know what? Safety first, right? Now, here's curiosity. It's not about what he's thinking or she's thinking. It's not about, well, they had a rough day or what's wrong with them. The curiosity that came up for me after I made that turn was, what made me react the way I did? You see, turn the curiosity into allowing yourself to have a bigger experience. And I know what it was safety. Now, maybe I should have gone through there, but I slowed down enough that I didn't want to slide or cause anyone else to, be in danger. So the curiosity was about what made me do that. There's always an opportunity for us to use curiosity to look at our own feelings, because our feelings and our thoughts and our beliefs are basically the identity we carry out into the world. And we can expand that when we're curious about, why did I react like that? What was I thinking then? And it's not to make ourselves wrong, it's to know ourselves in a greater way. If I don't feel the sliver in my finger, I'm not going to be trying to extract it, am I? Until all of a sudden I'm up here like this. What's that? See, it's been there for weeks. Didn't know it. That's how some of our habitual thinking is. That's how some of those old beliefs are. They're so automatic that we don't even recognize them. We don't recognize that we're reacting from that belief or thought until we are curious about our response. Einstein said, of course, we've all heard this many times, you can't solve a problem at the level of the same consciousness that it was created in. Otherwise, he's saying you have to learn to see the world anew. You have to learn to see the opportunity anew. You have to learn to see the challenge anew. You can learn to see just anything anew when you're curious about it. Curiosity to me is also like that breath, that second breath we take. The first breath can be automatic. The second breath, that pause, we're in control. We are the essence of life as the individual that we are. So why not act like it? Why not recognize it? Why not use it? Why not become it in a greater way? Because curiosity creates this spaciousness that allows us to evolve, that allows us to breathe easier, that allows us to let go of the pain, the anger, the hurt, the disappointment. It does. In that moment, it allows us to be curious about it. I love curiosity. And it also is the great connector for me to the self-divine that is within us. It enhances in the now. It allows us to access a deeper knowing by looking directly at what is happening in the now. Look at what is happening in the now. If we're curious, I had the most lovely interaction with someone this morning because I did something that I thought was for them. This is how we live. This is how we're human beings. I thought I was doing a lovely thing for someone. I mean, I wanted to help and everything. And then it dawned on me. I was curious as to how it affected her. I just thought, oh, it's just fine. So I asked her. And she was so gracious and so loving and so clear. She just said, I'd rather you didn't do that anymore. What a blessing to me. What a blessing to me. I'm so grateful for honesty, forthrightness, kindness in the honesty. I'm so grateful for that. Now, here's the other way it could have gone. This woman was coming from her spiritual center, and she was being honest and in the kindest way. Here's the other way it could have gone. Oh, that's fine. And what would have been in here could turn into resentment, anger. Why does she think she needs to come and do stuff for me? Nobody asked her. I don't even do it that way. You see how we can shift into something that isn't for our highest good and isn't even the truth. But we tell ourselves stories, and our stories is just like the weather. We don't know what weather is coming in. We think we know, but we don't. And it changes. We get snow, we get rain, we get sunshine, and that's how our stories can go. The same story I'm using for you, I may not be using for you, because I've had two different experiences with you, but I've still got the same story. I really don't trust anyone. No. You know what I'm saying? We want to be curious about how we respond to the world. That's what this is all about. The power within us, how we're living our lives, how we're responding to life, how we're creating life from our responses and our beliefs. Is it on the road to what you want? Is it where your intention for this year is? Is it taking you to that place? If it isn't, don't look outside of yourself for the answer. Be curious about what you are doing and why you're doing it and where you're doing it and what you would rather be doing. Be curious about it. Oh my. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And so when we get curious, it allows us to relate to the experience rather than relating from the experience. And relating from the experience means that we're caught in that circle and that cycle of what we believe, what we think, what we're afraid of, what we know. But when we're curious, we respond, we relate to the experience. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. Now, we might have the emotions of fear or whatever, but we can be the observer. This is what's happening in the now. And that is relating to the experience. And then we have the opportunity of changing what we're looking at. And therefore, what we're looking at will change. My experience in life is when I can step back from whatever has gotten my time and attention and energy and gotten me into a boiling whatever it is, cauldron of whatever, whenever I can step back, it is never as hopeless or helpless or bad as I imagined it could be or would be. But I can tell you I've spent a lot of my life's time, in that wasted space. So I would like to move us into that place of knowing that in this moment, in this now moment, may our curiosity of life be touched. May we be curious as to how greater peace will be experienced. May we be curious as to how to be open to more loving interactions with others and with ourselves. Curious, how can I love myself in kinder ways? And there's the curiosity of, what can I contribute? What do I want to contribute? What do I have to contribute today, this week, this month, to making this a world that's a better place for everyone? And may we know that power within us to either touch the curiosity or touch the blessing or touch the forgiveness when things come up, when we have experiences and thoughts that create anger and fear and judgment. May we allow ourselves to respond to those thoughts, because we are the creators of those thoughts. We are the keepers of those thoughts. May we choose to allow the space for us to be curious as to what is within us that we could contribute, that would allay the fears we are feeling, that would dissipate the judgments, and that would activate the forgiveness. The power of God is within us. The power of God surrounds us. The power and goodness of God is for us. May we awaken to it in sweet and strong and glorious ways. And together we'll say, it is so right now, and so it is. So it is, amen. Thank you.
I send my love over the mountain. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountain. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send I send my love, my peace, over the mountain. I send my peace into the sea. I send my peace into the heaven, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me.
Thank you. Thank you. So we've come to that time in our service where we get to put into practice the law of circulation. For those of you who are online that want to contribute, you can go to our website, www.cslkalispell.com, to donate. For those of you here in the sanctuary, there's a basket on the back table. So what I'd like to ask you to do now is to take your tithe, your gift, your offering, not only in your hand, but in your heart, and join with me in this prayer of spiritual giving and receiving. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me, multiplied abundantly. And so I would like to thank all of you online who are supporting us with your presence and with your gifts. And we hope to see you again next week. And we love you and we bless you. Thank you.